This is for English 301, Group 4, and we are discussing the way we form words in English. Combining is the most productive way to form new words. Combining includes compounding, prefixing, and suffixing. Compounding words has been a common way to form new words since Old English times. It is still a productive way to make new words today. Compound words are everywhere in English language. Compounds are one of the easiest ways to create new words. This just shows where the root word fits in. Prefixing includes adding a word chunk or a bound morpheme to the beginning of an existing word. Words such as reboot, combat, encrypt, and translate. Suffixing is attaching a word chunk or a bound morpheme to the end of the word, resulting in a new word, such as musician, goddess, taxable, sleeping, and laptop. Infixing is inserting a word into the middle of an existing word. Many expletives are formed this way, such as hallelujah, sing a bloody pour, fan flaming tastic, and fan frigging tastic. Alphabetism or initialism is when words are formed from the initials of every word in a phrase. For initialism, you would spell the word out as you say it, such as FBI, CPU, URL, and IBM. Acronymy is when you say the word like it is a word, but each letter stands for another word. You say it like NATO, even though it means North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NASA and AIDS. The words scuba and radar are also acronyms that have become very familiar in our language. Initialisms and alphabetisms are created with no consideration to pronunciation, where acronyms are made to be pronounced. When words lose an element, it is called clipping. Usually this occurs at its primary morphemic boundary near the root or the base of the word. Four-clipped. Some examples of a four-clipped word would be phone from telephone, server from file server, coon from raccoon, and burger from hamburger. Hind clipping is the most common type of clipping. Some clippings are thought of as words, such as cell from cellular, ad from advertisement, or doc from doctor. Innovative clippings do not always follow the morphemic boundaries. Some recent examples would be rents from parents, limo from limousine, flu from influenza, and whatevs from whatever. New words formed by removing a bound morpheme or what seems to be a bound morpheme. Back formation is not a common process. Babysit from babysitter, televise from television, and revise from revision are some examples. When we join two or more words with at least one word that is clipped, we are blending. Blending is the process of clipping and combining. Gigantic and enormous form ginormous. Breakfast and lunch form brunch. Bang and smash form bash. Fog and smoke form smog. When a word moves from one lexical category to another, that is a functional shift called shifting. Shifting occurs when a word changes its function. When words are used as nouns, then shift to be used as a verb. It can also be called verbing. Our textbook uses the example as email began as a noun. I love email because you can communicate quickly. But it soon shifts to a verb. Email me tomorrow. Reanalysis is when a morpheme or a word changes the sound in a way that creates a new morpheme. The most common are with words that start with N, such as a numble pie. It sounds like a humble pie. Numble pie turns into humble pie when we drop the sound and assume there is an H in front of humble. Words that sound similar and have been substituted to create new forms are eggcorns. They are errors within our language. They are justified because they are logical errors. There are more than 600 registered eggcorns. A common one would be duct tape. Is it duck tape or duct tape? Folk etymology or false etymology are words with a historically incorrect background. The praying mantis, did it get its name because it looks like it's praying the way it holds its hand, or did it get its name praying mantis because it preys on its mate after they have intercourse? Rule of thumb was the doctrine that certain men had to follow if they inclined to hit their wives with a stick. Supposedly, the stick could not be wider than the husband's thumb. In fact, the phrase comes from a quick way of estimating lengths. And this is what our group came up with for the way we form words in the English language.